Okay, good evening, Litchfield. It's 6:30 PM. Let's start the, we'll wait for Joe to come on in. Name tag. Perfect time. All right, we'll start the May 7th meeting of the Litchfield Conservation Commission. Can we stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I guess we start with the roll call.
Joan McKibben, member, secretary.
Harry Manzigian, member.
Ada McCarthy, member.
Matt Hoffman, Vice Chair.
George Lavash, Chair.
Joe Corp, alternate.
Jason Brennan, member.
Steve Gannon, Selectman's Rep.
Okay, so as we have a full complement, you just.
We're missing
Michael Crowe.
Michael Kuroda.
Ooh. Okay,
So we need
Decisions.
one alternate
We-
elevated.
right. Did you say you were a member or you were?
Oh, yeah, alternate, yeah.
Should we have them arm wrestle?
Oh, I don't care, you can do it.
But I think, so Aiden, would you like to?
Yes.
Okay, so Aiden will now be a voting member for tonight. Okay, so the first order is public input. Is anybody here? Okay, step forward and.
It's his name.
What's his name? State your name and address.
My name is Mark Pylant. Address is 15 Foxwood Lane in Litchfield, New Hampshire. I'm here on behalf of New Hampshire Turtle Rescue with two new items that I'd like to seek guidance with. The first is we have, at the moment, presently placed two turtle rescue signs, which I have here. They're roughly 2 feet by 2 feet on private property with the owner's permission. And in the process of doing that, the one sign, which is at 59 Page Road, is visible heading west or heading east on Page Road, but not west because of the guardrail for the culvert. And so the first question I had was if there is a procedure and if it is possible for a resident to basically alter the supports to what's the right word? Insert a sign for the rescue. Basically what it would consist of, since there are wood supports, just drilling a couple of small holes which the metal stand would then just insert into. It could be taken out at any point in time for repairs or weather, and we would have no problems removing it in the fall for
So
road work.
there's a wooden guardrail.
A wooden support steel guardrail, so that there's wooden posts. So that's the first question is there a procedure for doing that? Would it be possible?
What street is this located?
It's on Page Road.
Okay, so the sign will physically be on Page Road.
It will be physically visible on Page Road, both east and westbound, although it would be on the north side of Page Road. The second related question I have is whether or not it would be possible for a nonprofit organization to do a fundraiser of sorts to raise the funds for the town to install a DOT-approved turtle rescue sign, which I'm sure there probably are several available. I didn't know if there was a procedure for that, whether that's something that would be considered. My thought is that it would be basically at no cost to the town via the fundraiser, simply the amount of time it would take to install a support pole and the sign itself. So that's the second question, and I'm open for questions.
The fundraiser probably would go to the selectmen.
Yeah, so the fundraiser, I would say, yeah, it's quite possible, and then we would work with Kevin Brown, the road agent,
Okay.
to construct the sign or erect the sign where you believe it should be. I assume you'll purchase the pole and the sign, and then you just need to have the location and have it placed into the ground.
The fundraiser could purchase that, or we could purchase, give the funds to the town so the town could purchase it, just, so everything was, town approved.
Yep.
So there were not any question about, well, is it this size, that size, whatever, just, Litchfield DOT approved sign would be what we were looking for.
What were you thinking for a fundraiser? What kind, what would you do?
Probably something associated with New Hampshire Turtle Rescue.
Yeah,
I don't really have any idea what kind of a fundraiser it would be. It might be something, I know they do presentations in Concord at the library. It's very possible they would be willing to come down and do a presentation in the library in the town here, or potentially at the town hall here. It was just a general sort of nebulous fundraiser, because that is TBD, as it were.
So, raising funds and asking Kevin to go out to buy the sign, I mean, we could work with Kevin to do that. What I would recommend is try to come up with some ideas so we could talk to Kevin, so he could figure out what it takes to get it and come
Okay.
up with a price.
Okay.
I would suggest that, don't want you to come to another meeting, but the next Board of Selectmen meeting is on Monday, and we do have a public input there as well.
Okay.
Or we could add you to the agenda, and then that also coincides with mounting something to the wooden pole. I'm thinking you're gonna wanna drill holes into it. I don't know if the state or the town are gonna like that too much, cause it might speed up the
Decay, yes.
decay, but I would say you could definitely probably zip tie it to
Yeah.
it or something.
Yeah.
And that's something we should probably speak to Kevin as well as a road
Okay.
agent, because he would know if it has to be so far away from the, the
Right.
fog line or canopy traffic, et cetera.
why wouldn't you use these signs instead of having Kevin investigate it?
So there'll be two. Oh, you mean, so I think he
Um,
wants to erect like a
permanent.
triangle DOT permanent.
Well, whatever, I have seen several signs, turtle crossing
Oh,
signs.
yeah.
Some of them I'm pretty sure are through the New Hampshire
I've seen some in London, yeah.
state. So I would imagine there's probably a catalog number that you can order and get it. So my thought was that if nothing else, that would at least promote the consistency within the signs for the state.
Right,
These are ones that Turtle Rescue had made specifically. They do have their phone number on there and contact information. And the only reason for going with a different sign than these is, while these are fairly sturdy, they are limited lifetime. Certainly, the metal standard supports are, they're,
those would be great in the springtime though, to,
yeah.
put them up in the spring, get people's attention.
Yeah, we've done two of them so far. We did one on Page Road and we did one on Talent Road as well. I think it's 50,
59 Page and 54.
54.
Both on private
Is
property.
there
on.
restrictions on signage for putting stuff like that
Not
up?
on, not on page,
Just out.
As long as you're on private property.
Yeah, these are both
because
on private
those are on
property.
There is a,
yeah.
there is an ordinance about no off premises signs, but these kind of, how could these be off premises when they are all over the place? The turtles are everywhere.
Yeah. The other thing that my thought is that rather than randomly placing these, if we could have insight from New Hampshire Fish and Game or from Turtle Rescue as to where the most obvious or advantageous places for placement would be. So the two we've placed on Page and Talent, we place those there because we have rescued turtles from those two specific locations. And if there are others, that are as likely to have turtles crossing, then those would be obvious candidates.
There you go. That,
That's, looks to be fairly
that's
appropriate.
Atkinson.
Okay.
I saw some around here just recently too, I don't remember.
Londonderry.
what I saw.
Jason, can you look up on Wiley Hill Road in Londonderry? There's a turtle, sign
Yeah, there's one
Yeah.
there.
there.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if
I
you
gotta go to
think
Street View and go every,
Well, just take a ride, and we'll be here.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, so I would definitely find out what you can for information, come see the Board of Selectmen. We'll put you in touch with Kevin Brown, our road agent.
Okay.
If you figure out what the sign is, he can figure out how much it costs, and then if you
Okay.
could say, would like it placed here, Kevin and his crew, I'm sure, would be able to assist with
I
that.
can certainly, you said, I guess Atkinson has a sign. I could probably research some of the surrounding towns and probably contact their road agents to see, to get some ideas. Because, you know, I would be sort of surprised if the state didn't have something in their
They
catalog.
might, and that's something Kevin might, you know,
Yeah.
have, I'm sure Kevin has access to that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
He might know.
Okay.
You're familiar with the turtle nesting ground that's going into the state forest, correct?
Yes, I am, I saw that mentioned, I guess 2 months ago when we were here, right, back in February, I think it was.
Yeah, so
the signs recently.
I took a turtle out of the road on Hillcrest, right where the old trolley line crosses before you get to 3A.
Yeah.
So I think they cross there. They probably cross in a
And
lot of
anywhere there's
spots.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, there's
Oh,
another
they're-
area out.
They're everywhere this
out on-
time of year.
Yeah,
Brent,
yeah.
there's another.
Well,
you
with
know,
the Chasebrook area and the Bixby Meadow, that's a very popular area. This whole area with the Litchfield Forest here and into Londonderry, that's one of the prime, as I understand it, one of the prime breeding grounds for the Blandings turtles, which I guess is why the nesting area is being,
Up on Pinecrest too, there's a big wetland behind King Drive, that area,
yeah.
crossing there a lot.
All over Litchfield.
Right.
Yeah.
Turtles
Yeah.
are- turtles are
So
everywhere.
that's why I suggested it would be, I think, advantageous to contact the New Hampshire Fish and Game, because they do have a database of turtle sightings, you know, dead, alive, rescued, whatever. So it would be, I think, appropriate to use their expertise.
As far as fundraising in Litchfield, what I would suggest is that you start talking to the library. Because they have the most signage and the most available, more available to the public
Okay.
than, say, a fire station or something like that. But you need to, I would start talking to them and get their feeling about a fundraiser or whatever.
Okay.
Do you have a target? I mean, I can't imagine it'd be more than like $300.
I have no idea what the signage would cost, because, as I said, my hope would be that the fundraising would cover not only the expense of the materials itself, but the labor on behalf of the town, so that it would be net zero for the town. That would be my hope, that we could arrange that. So that way, all we would really be looking for is approval, and it would be at no cost to the town itself.
So I think that is, like he said, a selectman's issue,
Okay.
you know. And if you go, they could probably guide you, and along with Kevin, on
Okay,
how to go.
thank you.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Anybody need a sign? I happen to have one right here.
Well, we could probably put one somewhere, if you'd like us to place it somewhere, I'm sure we could.
If you are, you know, a property owner and you have turtles crossing your area, you're more than welcome to it.
Jonah, do you think you could find a good spot for it?
Crossing.
I have,
Cheers.
yeah,
So,
got a ton by my house.
yeah, we'll make sure it gets
Okay.
posted
That's all right.
somewhere significant.
Great, thanks.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Thank you, folks.
That's great. Okay, is there any further public input? I don't see anyone else here, so I guess we will close public input. And we'll move on to new business. So the first thing of new business is a new member candidate, Josh Hoffman. Could you come up and, I guess we know your name, but state your address.
Yeah, I'm Josh Hoffman. I live at 38 Brickyard Drive.
All right, and so you're interested in becoming a member of the Conservation Commission?
Yes.
Okay, could you tell us about yourself, why you're interested?
Sure. Well, I've been helping out at events over the past few years. My dad is Matt. So I'm living in town, so becoming a member, I can help a little bit more, be a little more active.
So when we consider your candidacy, we will not hold, you know, the fact that he's a father against you, all right? So we'll try to overlook that.
You came on your own goodwill, right?
I will state that Josh has helped out. He helped out at the ice fishing derby. Was pretty instrumental when we did the cleanup of the down tree at Parker Park, you know, so he helped load the brush, move the logs around, so he did help out quite a bit. You guys have any questions you'd like to ask Josh? We're not gonna grill him.
You used to collect frogs as a child?
Did I collect rocks?
Frogs.
Frogs. I held,
collect them, but-
held frogs
Pick 'em up and,
ethically.
This works.
So, have you filled out the paperwork with the town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you know, I've worked with you, and you've helped out a lot. I don't see any issues with you joining. I think we need to take a vote to see whether we recommend him to become a member. Then he will go in front of the selectmen, right, after we
Yes.
approve. So,
I'll make a motion to recommend Josh to become an alternate member of the Conservation.
I second that.
okay, can we have a vote? Aye?
and you're recommending to the selectmen.
To the selectmen, we're recommending to the selectmen. You're gonna abstain?
I'll abstain.
Don't abstain so we can call out nepotism.
I'm gonna abstain also.
All right.
I'm abstaining also because he'll be coming before us.
4, 5. So it's 5-0-2.
That person's gone.
Okay, so that passed, so we will, recommend, you become a member to the selectmen, you have to go in front of the selectmen, and they will grill you, probably even worse than we just did, much worse, but it's just a formality for the most part,
All right.
okay?
Yeah,
their
and then
next meeting-
afterwards, you'll fill out if you haven't already, the paperwork, and then after the Board of Selectmen approve, you'll go see, one of the girls in the town office, and they will swear you in.
Perfect.
I think
Thank
that-
you.
I think it has to be Terry,
Is Terry
it has to be Terry.
It has to be.
Or the
Terry.
deputy.
Yeah.
The deputy.
Okay, and, I don't know, can we get him on the, agenda for Monday? I don't know.
You would have
Send
to
it
send an email
to
to the
Kim.
town administrator,
Yeah.
Right.
and then she'll put him on either the next meeting or the meeting after.
Okay, all right, so it won't be Monday, because I think there's some
Well,
time.
Could be.
Well,
Could
it
be.
could be, if you send
You
her
don't think you only
tomorrow.
need 24 hours
I'll send,
notice?
I'll send the email tonight, and they'll let you know whether you're on the.
She usually completes the agenda, on Fridays.
Okay, so then we have time.
Okay.
Get her done.
So our Board of Selectmen meeting will be Monday at 6:30 here.
Okay,
And that's for you guys
All
too.
right.
Monday, 6:30, if you want to speak with the Board of Selectmen.
okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thanks for
it.
coming forward.
Moving
Yeah,
on up.
Could be, a good help. Okay, so the next item we have for new business is community garden guidelines. So we've had some new people come into the garden, we've made the garden bigger. We have a good portion of our budget that goes towards the garden, and so I think it's time that now that we have some groundswell and some support, and it's an established item, that we might want to put some rules or guidelines in place to ensure as it grows.
Well, we do have a list of guidelines, and I fortunately didn't bring them along, but we should add to that.
Ooh, okay, so I did not know that we had some.
Yeah, we do. And they can
Yeah, I
sign.
think the stuff that's published is enforcing like, organic gardening and that sort of stuff. I think George is alluding to like, control the plots, right? Like making sure people are contained in their space and not encroaching on the area where we need to mow and maintain.
I'll show you what I came up with, and this is open for discussion. This is just to seed it. But what I thought I would show is that these are the costs that we incurred last year for the community garden. And most of this is around providing the water system for the garden. We have that 500-gallon tank that was luckily donated to us, was it by Normanton?
Yeah.
So, we were hauling that to the, fire station to fill it up, and we came up with this system in order to fill it up. So, we bought some wires for the solar panel, 200 watts. We started with 20 watts, and they turned out to be not big enough. I think the drought last year really taxed the system. We were going through almost 200 gallons a day at the garden. So we had to increase the size of the panels, the size of the batteries, and it was a little bit of trial and error, but we spent $731, you know.
Yeah, that number's actually a little bit low, because we bought a replacement pump as well.
Right, but that was the year before, right, so I'm not including stuff we paid, you know.
I thought that one was last year. Maybe it
I
wasn't.
may have missed it, but yeah, so it could be even a little bit higher than that. And then I also wanted to show, last year, this is using our work order dashboard. We spent 110 hours last year at the garden, and if we look at 2024, we had 107 hours there. So if you look at all of the years, so we spent 264 man-hours working on the garden. So we have a considerable investment, both in money and our time. So I think in order to keep it running well, make it easy for us to maintain and make sure it's gonna be going forward in a good manner, we should set up some guidelines.
How many people do we have sign up to use the garden right now?
I don't know. Joan?
Well, I sent you the picture I had, it was about, 1, 2, 3,
You did send me that picture.
about
I
seven,
did send you,
about 7.
George,
7, 8, or
map.
Corey.
Well, you didn't update.
So there's
it, right, but
Corey
I
and
hear-
then this other new
the
person.
one I sent you will
Corey, I
tell.
don't know what he's doing, so
Okay.
7, I'd say 7.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, so Jason went out and plotted the garden, so I have a picture here of what he did. So these are the existing plots that we currently have in the garden.
8.
And this big one out here was being used
The pumpkins.
for the pumpkins last year.
I don't know what those people are doing yet.
Right, and so there is a little bit of uncertainty about what's going on, so I'd like to try to just add some more certainty to, you know, the process if possible. So those are our existing lots right now. And someone just today made a request for a plot, and I pointed them to you, Joan. Okay, I gave her your email address.
Okay.
Okay, so,
So we're only gonna use a half plot, Joan, if that's
You only
helpful.
gotta use a half? Okay.
That's all we need.
So we have about 7 people or 8 people.
Looked like there was
sign up.
9.
Well, that big one's not counted for yet, so about 8. Yeah. Well, then the new one, 9.
We got the one with the water pump, that's not a.
oh, that's
real
not,
plot.
right, that's not a real plot too. So 9 or 10 people, we did have 2 new people come in this year, maybe, right?
Yes.
So, and I think we will get more and more, I think, as, news travels or as people find out about it, and I just,
We need a, ending date of when they should have everything cleaned up, like November 15th or 30th.
okay. So, down here in, fall cleanup, each gardener responsible for clearing their plot by November 15th.
Okay.
Perfect date to choose. And so, under this fall cleanup section, I said the plot clearing entails the removal of posts and fence, all stakes, cages, ropes, etc. And dead plants must be moved to the designated compost area. So we now have a designated compost area.
Now, a couple of them towards the 3A have permanent fences.
So I've made a notion here underneath the plot fences. I think all fence material should be black because it's more see-through and it's not as obtrusive as the shiny metal. Now, we can make this rule for going forward. Any existing fence material, we're not gonna make them buy another set of fencing if they've already bought fencing. And around the fences, it says here that fences are meant to contain the individual plots, hand tools, hoses, et cetera, should remain within the fence. I know we've mentioned this, but if we have it in writing,
Flower beds.
no gardens outside of the fence, right? The movable benches are allowed outside the fence, because we can easily move those when we do mowing. And I say fences and fence posts should be taken down each fall. This will allow for consistent rototilling of the garden as a whole. Existing fences are grandfathered from this requirement, but it's suggested that eventually all fences are seasonal. So I know those two people out front have, more permanent fences. I'm not gonna make, we can decide as a whole whether or not we should make them seasonal or, allow them to stay. It does make for, I think if they're permanent there, it's more of a sense of ownership. And we should have a standard way of taking care of the garden, we rototill the whole thing.
Well, some people don't want rototilling either.
Well,
It causes,
That-
more weeds.
okay, well, if you want to make that an option, I mean, it's, we can
You know, if they
discuss
have
this.
If the ones that have had the permanent fences don't get rototilled, the ones that are wide open got
Right.
rototilled this year.
And are you saying like, you did not want yours
No,
rototilled?
no, so I know that, like, I think the person next to us is just totally smooth and no weeds, so I don't think he wants it rototilled.
Okay, so I'm bringing this up, we don't have to vote on this today, we can think about it, maybe come back after the next meeting, I can send this out.
Yeah, that would be good.
And so let me just go through this a little bit. So I also said that new plot assignments will happen in the spring of each year, obviously, and that existing gardeners must convey their intent to return and keep their plot for the following year by the fall cleanup date. So the fall cleanup date is November 15th. If you're gonna be coming back next year, let us know and we'll hold your plot for you. Otherwise, if someone else comes in, or if there's an existing gardener there, if you say that you're not coming back, we could allow for gardeners to switch plots if they wanted to, if someone decides that, the plot's gonna be vacant. New requests for plots will be on a first-come, first-served basis. There's an optional $20 donation. And that we need contact information for each plot, right? Name, phone number, and email address. And the only thing else here is section on water. We should allow the personal battery-powered pumps that people are using that connect to the car batteries to run the hose. But due to the size of our water system, sprinklers aren't allowed. And I'd like to say that no gardener can connect their own private permanent hose to the tank. I don't want to have, we can't have a spider
Manifold.
web of hoses.
Yeah, they don't want a manifold to,
Yeah.
Right, so we're not a full water system yet. And that gardeners are encouraged to use the pump to keep the tank full. So I'm just trying to set some overall guidelines, just so that it runs smoothly. We might look into possibly buying a pump that we could attach at the tank, so we could run a pump for everyone, so everyone wouldn't have to bring their own hose. But that might be in a year or so, it would take the money.
We're trying a rain barrel this year. I know, I'll talk to you about it later, because I don't know quite how it works, but it's,
I think Glenn was mentioning to like a 50-gallon tank or something like that.
yeah, and then he attaches, the
Drip
tapes,
system.
the tapes to that.
Yeah, and he could, if he needs to fill that up, he could use a hose to fill it, right, and he's also gonna get rain collection as well. So anyways, that was just, my first attempt at putting something together, and, I'll send it out for
Good.
review and update, and these are guidelines, just something to get started, because I can see it growing, and if it's our responsibility, we should try to make sure that, it makes our life easier and it's consistent.
Yeah, the one question I have is for donations, because we can't take donations directly, right? But it sounds like we have a process now where donations can be placed in the town's
Conservation.
general fund
Yeah.
and designated for a specific purpose, and we can
They can
submit
actually be placed in the
expenses
conservation fund.
Can they? Okay.
Yes.
Do we have a conservation fund?
Yeah, that's the big one.
That's a big
The
one.
land-
so my only concern, I think it's a great idea, great use of the property. The concern I have is you used most of your budget for 9 plots. And come budget season, that will probably be reviewed. So what is your budget, 1,000 or 1,100? And you have approximately 720?
Was a lot of this
Consumed.
donated, though? A lot of that seven hundred
donated?
donated, or did it come out of the budget?
No, that came out of our budget.
That's, looking at from my perspective, that would be the only concern.
Yeah.
That defending that come budget
Yeah,
season.
the hope would be that those were mostly one-time purchases.
Yeah, yeah, and then over time, this would become more and more self-sufficient, but just
Right, I
be
don't
aware
see,
that
yeah, we're not gonna be spending, hardly any money on the garden this year.
this year,
that I-
so it was
that I
just
can
all
see.
set up. fit
More
up.
like replacement for failed stuff, but I don't think we have any plans to expand on what
Unless
we have.
George's electrical system fries another pump.
Well, okay, since you mentioned that, so, okay, so we had, so just showing you what that money went to, so we have these 2 batteries that we needed to pre-charge before we put them in. We ran, underground, conduit essentially to run, the 24-volt charging lines from the 2 panels to, the shed. Here's Jason putting in, using the post hole digger to put in the post hole. Now we're charging at 24 volts for these batteries. It's more efficient. And we have a little app here that shows that we're getting 170 watts coming from the solar panels. They're putting out 38 volts, 4 amps. That's going into the battery. And we're doing bulk charging here, 6 amps. And it's got 25 volts in it.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's
So-
pretty good.
Yeah, so, and here's a look of the trailer, and, yeah, we just cleaned this up just a little bit, so, it works pretty good, and the pump is,
What is it, pump 12 volts?
pump is 12 volts, but because we're like 120 feet or so to get down to the pump, we lose, amperage or voltage when we go that far. So we're pushing 24 volts down there, and the pump is screaming a little bit, but, it's working. So, seems.
Probably like 16 volts at the
Yeah,
pump.
it's 16 volts.
16 volts.
It's
Exits
screaming.
at 24, takes out at 16.
Right, but,
Screams.
yeah, and it's working really good, so, I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, and we did, put in a, new designated compost area in the garden now, so there's no question about where it should go, and so we can direct everybody to put it in here. And it's just a few posts, so we can move it, we can extend it, get 2 more pallets, make it bigger if we need to. And I got the lovely blue ones, I thought it'd add a nice touch. Okay,
Are those wood or is that
They're-
composite?
they're wood, they're just wood pallets. Woman in Litchfield posted that they had pallets, they have a recycling company over in Nashua, so I went over and picked up the pallets. I think that's that. Okay, so, that's it for the community garden guidelines. Oh, something?
I had one thing to add. Probably under plot fences, just maybe a line item in there about aesthetics. And I think you kind of have it covered, but I mean, the 2 things, let's see, actually, there's 3 things that have been an issue. Number 1, junk outside the fence line, us hitting hoses, it's getting overgrown, and we run over stuff. That would be number 1, make sure, and I think you got that covered, make sure, keep everything inside the fence.
Yep.
Number 2 is uneven fences. Some of the fences are set back, some of them are forward. It makes it way more difficult to mow. You just can't go straight down the line. I would like at least on the front side, it would be good if everybody kind of lined up in a line.
Straight line.
Because otherwise, we're out there manually, I mean, we're volunteers and we're out there weed whacking and stuff, and you know, it takes time to get off the mower, get back on the mower and so on and so forth. That would be number 2, and then number 3, we just don't want junk hanging around there, different, I like how you said the fences should be black, like no snow fences or things like, we don't want it to look like a shanty town when you're coming up the street. It needs to look nice, it needs to be It needs to be clean, no junk laying around there. And that will, that's my 2 cents.
Okay? Great. Yeah, so I tried to generate this based on, you know, your feedback from mowing and issues that we run into.
I think it's good, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
you get it.
And I don't mean to be like, you know, this is the way it must be, but just a starting point.
Can people store, some tools in the shed yet?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why it's there.
Maybe I should put, okay, I'll mention the
That's a
shed.
good point.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll
it won't be secured. We haven't
Yeah.
put a lock on it, so.
Yeah, so we, a new woman who joined, we said she could put her stuff in there if she wanted to, that way she
I
doesn't.
told her just to put her name on the, whatever.
Yeah, and there are hand tools in there that can be used by all. Okay, any other discussion on that?
No?
All right, moving on to, muster field signage. So, we were helping out the Historical Society, this past weekend, doing some moving of some stuff down at the basement, and a woman asked, you know, is there going to be signage for the muster fields across the street for the 250th celebration? And I said, yes, there is going to be signage. So we have done a lot of work. Jason and the intern last year identified the different house lots and plots, and there's information that we need to leverage, but in order to get it done by July, we need to
There's
start,
a big sign in the kiosk there.
there is a sign.
What we wanted to do is to add each of the locations, like by the foundations and
On the ground or,
stuff like
On the
that, to be able to.
If you look on the screen, Joan,
So
something like that.
something like this, which maybe
Oh, okay.
describe the house, now, this is just, you know, this is an example in Musquash, but where the 44 is, you could maybe envision a QR code. And we could have some brief description of, you know, what the house lot is, or it's number 7.
So we
or-
do have the website is all set up, and so, and there is a QR code on the main sign. And have you gone to that?
Yes,
Okay. What we can probably do, and I'll have to verify this, is if we want to put a QR, 2 things we could do. Number one is have the number associated that's on the specific site that you're looking at, reference back to the main map, and then go to that location when you scan the QR code. So in other words, you scan the QR code for it, it'll bring you right to the spot on the app that has already been developed.
Yeah, we should definitely be able to do that, yep.
okay.
That would probably be the best.
what,
Best case.
would you have, so the QR code would take you to the location,
To the specific
QR
site
code would take you-
location.
yeah,
but would you have these posts all around the field?
So I think what, let me back up, do you have a picture, can you go to the, do you have a picture of the sign?
I know what you mean on the
I
sign,
don't have
it
a
tells you
picture.
where
If you
things
scroll
are.
up and you go to conservation areas, and then if you scroll down and you go to the muster field,
You went
I
past,
think there's a link on
Passed
the
it,
muster
sorry.
Passed
field one.
Oh, that says Musterfield.
Okay, if you scroll down on the muster field one, is there a link to,
Click here,
Click here.
Google Map,
Yeah.
click here.
oh no, it's the historical one, that's not the Google Map, shoot.
Okay,
I thought we put that in there. Hold on. What's the one, is there, it says historic information, but the link's busted.
the link
Okay.
is broken. Okay.
So you already have a website set up.
Okay, so you have a website set up, and does each item have its own file?
It has the same, it's the same format as you see on the screen here.
Okay,
So each item, each area has its own individual write-up essentially. So we should be able to key it back to, if you scan the QR code, it should automatically pull up that map on the left and then bring up the description on the right, and bring up the description on the left
okay. Of the particular
of the
house.
place that you're standing in
Right.
front of, yeah.
So I think it would be nice if we could do that for
Yeah.
in the 7 or 8, or I can't remember the exact number. of
If
them.
not, I'll have to test that out, but if not, it's no big deal. we can just have a one-pager on each one of those, throw them in a Google Drive, you scan the QR code, it'll pop that up.
Right.
That would be the backup plan.
Right. So what my intent for this meeting was to get the juices flowing and get this so that, so this is May, so we needed, we can go and drill the holes and start setting poles, but
Well,
we're
that
gonna.
was my question. Are you gonna have poles throughout the site? That looks too good.
I don't think there's gonna be a lot of them.
Yeah.
So if you go to a cellar hole, there'll be a pole and
Yeah, there'd be a pole at each cellar hole.
scan it and determine what it
Or-
was used for.
And have a QR code on the pole?
Yeah.
Just to tell you what.
So
it
it'll say
is.
this was an old church or this was the old school.
Right.
I passed that by the Historic Society.
George, the it's not really even an issue, but with the historic survey that we did, we have the big map that lays out the muster field. And there's somewhere in the vicinity of, I'm gonna say about 16 points of interest. I don't think we would
No.
have 16
No.
poles, poles that would correspond to those points of interest.
Right.
Cause some of them are like right next to each other, on top of each other.
Yeah, it's I think highlighting some of the key things like the cellar hole, the ferry crossing and history of the muster field
It
and
might be 5 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Is that acceptable?
maybe make a trail to the old, school,
Yeah.
foundation and stuff.
If, who lived in the old foundations, that would be really
I
interesting.
didn't see it in there, George. I thought
Oh, okay.
I thought I had the PDF in there, but I didn't see it.
All right. I think it's in a different directory. But we can, go over that. Did you look in the intern project? That's probably what it is. Okay, here's the sign.
Yep, that's it. Perfect.
Yeah, that's,
See if we can go here.
8 of them, 9?
Okay, so, well, 9, 10, and 11, we probably would not have poles there. We need to just go through and decide what is the right number of poles to have.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that many, but there's some interesting things to highlight.
Right.
Yep.
So this is on the kiosk, and we probably would have one out in the field for one. Yeah.
Can you scroll to the lower left, or lower right, excuse me? Oh, the QR, okay, that's a previous version.
Oh.
It should have had the QR code in the lower, on the final version.
Okay. Yeah, I just pulled up what I thought was the first one, so, so we have the muster field, and we have a few cellar holes over here, the old Dairy Road, and you say there are, write-ups on each one of these things. I think the Historical Society would like this, because it would give more input, or, more exposure to the history of the town.
Yeah, we've talked to them previously
Right,
and they
right.
were all for it.
They're all in
so-
for it, so, we just need to get the ball rolling. So, maybe, can you take a look at the QR
What
available?
I need to see is if if I can make it so the QR code goes right to the website, because then if we need to update that, it's gonna be super easy and change dynamically. If we can do that, then that's like,
Right, and then we can make the signs, and put the poles in.
Yep.
So, there's probably a couple week lead time on signs at least.
You should be able to, it just links directly to a URL, so.
yeah, we just need to, I assume that the sign would have, so like, for example, where the ferry crossing is that we would have the thin sign and it would say Thornton's Ferry Crossing, maybe the date underneath it, a couple of sentences on it, and then the QR code, is that what you're thinking?
Yes.
So like 5.5 by 12-inch sign is
And it would have the
probably
number.
fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
If it's number 7 on this, so it would have the number, have the QR code, and just a little blurb.
Yep. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and those, once we wire those QR codes. Once we create them, they're fixed, right?
They are.
So we just have to make sure we,
If you, yeah, that is the problem, they are fixed, but if you go to like Bitly and you, I think if you, I could be saying this wrong, but if you have signed up and you're like, pay us one-time like subscription, I know that you can change the link for the QR code to something else.
okay, gotcha.
But if not, you get a sticker and you stick it,
Sure,
put it on top.
that's true.
So how about for getting the signage created?
The signage for what?
We got to get the signs printed, right?
Yeah, so we've been using a guy, Alpha Graphics in Nashua, right on Main Street. And they're pretty inexpensive and they're really good and quick. They've done a lot of the signs for us.
So like a 1 week turnaround time or something, because we're gonna run into a
Days,
time
it was like
crunch
a couple
pretty
of-
quick.
Yeah, it was a couple of days. These are small. They'll be able to
Yeah.
crank those out pretty quick.
So, Jason, what are you gonna use, wooden poles or,
Yeah, so it'd be a metal sign backing.
okay,
The wooden post, that's a 4x6, so the actual sign would be 4 inches wide by maybe, what are you thinking, George? 10 inches, something like,
Something like that. We have to-
whatever it is. And then we install the post and then screw them on.
put the post in the ground?
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Postal
And
digger,
that way,
6 foot post.
the signage doesn't overlap what it's mounted on, so we don't have
Mm-hmm.
to worry about, getting knocked off or anything like that. So
previously,
we won't have to touch it for 10 years.
at Morris Falls, we had, plexiglass and a piece of paper underneath it.
Like these?
Yeah, and
Yes.
people can
But,
turn those and rip those off.
so, I think we need to do that just to, it'd be good for the 250th, and if we can
Yeah.
just, I know it's a little bit of work for you to figure out the QR code thing, but once we got that nailed.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
There's one, so you talked about the numbers, so there might be one post that covers 3 numbers, so we just have to figure that out. And then the second thing is we could actually do the graphics itself. I actually use PowerPoint for that sign right there. So I've got the template, like all the fonts are set, all the text is already in there. And, so it might be easiest just to create a PowerPoint template for one of those signs and just duplicate it 5 times.
Perfect.
We don't have to do anything funky in Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator or anything like that.
And the sign company could use that format?
Yep, I just send them over a PDF file, and the PDF file that I send is in the actual dimensions of the sign that they're gonna print,
gotcha,
which
okay.
is like gonna be 3.5 by 8 inches or whatever it is. Send it. Day later, you go and pick them up.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to add on that? Okay, that sounds great. All right, so the next thing was, the library reached out to me just after our last meeting, wanting to know, or maybe it was just before, and we didn't have enough time to talk about it, if we wanted to help pay for the Raptor presentation in July. So I went back and forth. I asked them a few questions. It's going to be located at Sawmill Brook Park. They're gonna have at least 50, maybe up to 100 people there, he thinks. I was curious what their budget was for presentations, so they have about a $1,200 budget for their programs. I also asked, like, is this gonna be tied into a reading program with the kids? Like, are they gonna read some book about raptors? But I guess it's not. It's just a program for the, adults in town. Well, kids can go too, but continuing education, community involvement.
Adults can't read.
Right, the dates were July 15th with a backup of July 23rd. The cost for the program is $650, and they're looking to split it between us, the library, possibly the church, the veterans. They've been reaching out to a bunch of different groups, trying to see if they can find some money. Now, we've already committed to a couple programs this,
They
Yeah,
have
we
them, they have them already. don't
done a couple programs with the library already.
right, so, it's my opinion that we've spent a good amount of our program budget already, and, I'm not sure we have the money in our budget for yet another.
Well, I think shouldn't be that much, because I think we spent, $50 on the first one
75,
and 75 on the second one. So how much budget did we have?
Well, are we planning on doing anything with UNH Extension this year? Or is this gonna be our,
I'd rather see us do something with that. I have a problem with the Raptor program. I didn't talk to Ben about it yet. He hasn't really, I don't think, investigated this group. My friend is a falconer. I tried to get her to come over and do it in July, but she wouldn't fly her bird in July because they're molting in July. And then she proceeded to tell me about how the jessops should be oiled, and there's a lot to taking care of the maintenance of the leather and the bird. So I just have a bit of a concern about this group that be flying them in July, and
So
I don't know
where
anything about
were they
them.
supposed to hold this now?
Sawmill.
Sawmill Brook Park, behind the tennis courts,
Okay,
it's a big soccer field
Because
down
they
there.
want to fly the birds.
and so how much do we have in, how much they want? The total program is what?
650, they were looking for $200,
200, yeah.
$200 from us.
Yeah,
and that's about what it costs for the UNH Extension programs, right?
but 100, I think it's 100 apiece.
Those were 100 to 125
Yeah,
What, oh, for the,
for your
UNH.
UNH ones.
yeah, it cost us, if we did it by ourselves, it would cost us 100. So, do we have the money?
I'm not, I don't have it right on, let me see if I can find it.
Are you on the budget emails now?
I told Heather.
Yes, I am,
Did you get them?
yes, I just
Because
don't
John
have it.
Brunel had to add you.
1 second.
I guess a question, if we spent the money towards this, then we'd have, probably would impact what we could spend for any of the UNH Extension.
Well-
Or any other program we wanted to do.
Because the only other events that we would have coming up that we would need, if you wanna call it advertising, would be the ice fishing derby in the, in the winter.
That'd be next.
Well, that doesn't cost us any money for that stuff. It's stuff where we'd have to pay for a speaker to come in.
No, I'm just trying to think ahead, I think it's a good idea to go with them, but do we have the money? And do we have the money for any future events?
Budget was-
Yeah, I mean, we have a minimal
It's down, it's like pretty far.
minimal budget for that, right? We do have some additional funds, but we gotta like repair the Moores Falls fence, right? That's something we weren't planning on. We've got, the signage for the muster field, that's gonna be a pretty large expense that we have to cover, so. I mean, we have a small budget, so we're gonna use the budget.
Yeah, I
So
think,
we gotta prioritize how we want to,
I think
I wanna
$200
spend it.
on one is a lot versus doing like splitting the UNH stuff or doing you can do multiple UNH programs versus $200 just on one thing, depending upon what he's finding for the budget.
So it looks like, we have 275 for, Conservation Commission seminars and annual meeting. Is that the line item that this comes out of?
we already spent 75
We
on
spent
that.
75 out of it.
Well, because one was 50 and 75. And then if anybody wants to go to an annual meeting in November, that's pretty pricey.
Right, so we don't really have a line item, well, so we have $200 left towards seminars and annual meeting, which that, I don't know if that's meant for us to go to seminars and the annual meeting. So I'm not sure where we're pulling the money out in order to, pay for these.
What about recreation? If they're gonna do it behind tennis courts, can we,
I believe you already got approval from Sawmill to use, it was discussed during recreation. Sawmill is not being used because it's between soccer. I thought Chris said that he would contribute to, but I don't. That would be something Bob Leary is the selectman's rep.
So they weren't going to use Sawmill, did you say?
They are,
Oh,
because Sawmill is not have.
Between seasons,
Yeah, it's between seasons.
could we partner with like rec and maybe split that cost?
Well, it sounds like they're partnering with,
Well, they're trying, so
You're
he's
trying to
reached
do
out
it, but-
to a lot of people, so I don't know if he's gotten, any commitment yet, from any of them. I don't know, when he reached out to me, he was trying to reach out to all of those groups.
George, how much did we spend, do we know how much we spent this year on the 2 other seminars? I'm not seeing it.
I don't see
In
it
here.
here, so I don't know where.
Well, no, we spent, I know how much we spent. We spent $50 on one and 75 on the other.
the $50 isn't showing up, we just said the
It
75.
was that last year? Maybe. Might have been.
So,
We don't have a, I mean, our budget is minuscule.
Yeah,
right. Should we, I think we don't have the budget for it either. Should we, vote on whether or not we,
Deny the request.
to deny the request? Or, seems like Harry would like to spend the money, but I'm not sure anybody else would like to spend the money. So, I think we need to vote on it so that we have it on record and so we can say one way or another whether we are going to help them or not.
I mean, we certainly can't split it. I mean, we don't even
Right.
have the budget for it.
And it's not that it's necessarily geared towards conservation. I mean, it is birds, flying, but, it's not like one of our seminars where people were taught, gardening. Although that wasn't very well attended either, so I don't know.
Well-
It's,
I mean, we could, do a not to exceed donation too, we contribute $100 towards it or something.
I mean, technically, you would, if you're stretching a point, you'd be able to identify the raptors, under bird watching, so, which is conservation, so,
I
But
know, we need
it's-
some tree swallows
pardon?
from Rye.
so would anyone like to make a motion on this?
My only point is that if we go with them and we're able to, what I did notice is that when we split the cost with the library, they did not give us any recognition.
Right,
This time if we able to spend the money, that we make sure that we get recognized as an equal partner on their signage.
Just call the vote.
What?
Just call the vote. All in favor, or,
No one made a motion.
I know, let's
So-
make a motion, call the vote.
Am I allowed to make motions?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like a motion to say that we are not going to contribute to the Raptor presentation. I just think it's, well, so my motion is that we do not fund the Raptor presentation.
I second.
Okay, any further discussion?
Can you repeat the motion?
The motion is, my motion is that the Conservation Commission is not going to fund the Raptor presentation.
Okay.
And you seconded?
Yes.
Any further?
I agree with it. We don't have any money at all. I mean, we're dealing with a couple $100. We have to have these signs. You know, there's other things that we need to do that are more conservation related.
I understand. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, so we are voting for the Conservation Commission not funding the, Raptor presentation. All those in favor of not funding?
I,
Aye. Okay, so it's 7-0-0.
First time I've ever heard a motion to not fund something.
Well, I just wanted to make sure it was clear, right? Okay, moving on.
Remember that in the meeting minutes next month. that we don't forget
Right.
that.
So, the next thing is the Olson Mobile Home Park.
Where, is that in your new agenda?
I updated it yesterday.
Okay.
Sorry. So let me see if I can go to,
That was under new business?
it's new business,
Okay.
yes. Okay, so the mobile home park is putting in some larger, quote-unquote, double-wide units out behind the existing mobile home park. And I guess the engineer for the town, Lou something or other, was out there checking on it, and he saw that they had clear-cut some wetlands. So they not only went over like the 50-foot non-disturbed, they went in and clear-cut the whole area. This just came down within the
May
last day or
5th.
so.
May 5th.
What?
May 5th.
May 5th. So, let's see if I can make this bigger.
Didn't he come before us?
I'll check Conservation AI, but I don't think they did because they
they're
didn't
not-
have a wetlands impact.
Right, they're not they were supposedly not impacting the wetlands, so they didn't need a dredge and fill or anything from the state. Unfortunately, they clear-cut the wetlands. So now they're working under they're not
Well-
working under cease and desist.
So I have some pictures that were sent, and it shows, you can see that it is clear cut, and I believe the section between the silt fences was the wetland area. I haven't walked the property, but I saw these pictures. I did drive by it. So the town has sent them a cease and
cease and
desist.
desist for several items.
Yeah, for violations, and they haven't, provided their bonds and some other issues.
And today the complaint went into New Hampshire DES for this area.
And the letter,
Swore they came.
So where is this exactly? Is it south
They-
of
they-
Litchfield?
they weren't-
Yeah, it's on
Yeah, the south end of
13
town.
Charles Bancroft Highway.
Okay.
It's the,
By
But
Licks.
Okay, yeah.
down behind
Okay.
Came
Boucher's.
before us.
one of the first properties you come across when you come into Litchfield.
Last
Okay.
year, or maybe the
And they're
year
putting
before
module
that.
homes out
Yeah.
back.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I see where, yeah.
Because they were gonna get rid of all the housing in the trailer parks and clean it up.
Yeah, they did that,
Um,
they cleaned it up, the debris that was left.
So part of the letter said that, they need to work with the Conservation Commission and their remediation,
Mitigation, is there remediation or
remediation,
mitigation?
not mitigation,
Okay.
remediation. So they're going to contract with some consulting firm to come up with a plan.
Fieldstone was their engineering company,
Okay,
and they're going to have to work with New Hampshire DES, the Conservation Commission, and the town engineer.
When
Their engineer.
Lou Karen went on site to do an inspection, I'm assuming he had the plan in hand, and it sounds like they went beyond the plan limits on what they were supposed to clear.
Exactly.
Okay, just making sure that, was it a mapping error, or was
No.
it, okay. George, Mr. Chair, according to Conservation AI, copyright Litchfield Conservation Commission, the expansion of the Olson Mobile Home Park came before us on January 5th, 2023.
You're right,
That's,
2023.
yeah, I thought they came before us.
Parcel situated 40 acres in size. The existing units, there are 44 mobile homes. The proposed expansion would add 55 new units, double wide.
Right.
There will be infrastructure upgrades, and they did come in and talk to us about the septic system, because it's more of a community septic system versus individual septic systems, if I remember. Okay, here it is. Wetlands. A certified wetlands scientist, guy states his name, stated that all proposed development is outside of the wetlands and the buffers, and there is no disturbance. And then for us, there's a couple other pieces of information in here that don't really pertain, but then it says for us that we took no official action, essentially because we didn't have to, because there is no
What date,
wetland.
what date were those minutes?
The date?
Yeah.
is January 5th, 2023.
Thank you.
Conservation Commission took no official action regarding the proposal, as there were no direct impacts on wetlands under their jurisdiction.
And wasn't there a map, that I can remember, and it did show some sort of pond or wetland in
It-
apparently.
It did, we were talking about that the other night at the other meeting.
And we said, okay, I think they got the okay from the state,
Yeah, they do. They have an alteration terrain permit that it's a
Yeah.
violation of.
so, if they got the okay from the state over that wetlands,
No, the okay from the state was, there was a clearing line, and they went beyond the clearing line. They went
Into the
beyond the tree line. They got,
oh,
And they cut it all down.
yeah.
That's what they did.
They got an inch, they took a mile.
There you go.
So I just,
No one will know.
so there's, as part of this letter that was sent to them, they have required corrective actions that the
so
town
they
is.
cleared
is that
more than they
They have to
should.
submit and obtain approval for the required performance bond.
This is all
They
wetland.
need to have a
Guides.
bond. They have to
Stumps.
obtain the required
Stumps.
building permits prior to resuming work. And they need to work with the Litchfield Conservation Commission to get a restoration plan developed by a wetland scientist for the restoration of the impacted wetlands.
Man,
Okay, so that's where we come in.
yeah.
All right, and so I wanted to make sure I brought this to our attention. There's not much we can do at this point in time, but I wanted to make sure it's on everybody's radar. And it, like I said, it just happened.
So who pays for the wetlands
They do.
They
scientists?
they do.
They do.
Okay. What is that, is it spelled out in there?
No, they have to fix
It's
the
their corrective
problem.
It's their problem, yeah. So they have a number of violations. One of them is clearing and cutting of trees and other vegetation beyond the limit of clearing shown on sheet SP1, page 3 of 24 of the plans, approved on February 1st of 2025. So, they,
Joan, has this happened before? It hasn't happened in the 5 years I've been on the,
Not to this extent, no.
okay.
We have called DES on a while back on a stream that was, a stream vegetation that was cleared, and people had to fix that up on Chase Brook, but not to this extent.
George, by the way, the plan is on the Google Drive. If you ever want to look at it, if you search Olson, it's in there.
So, what, is there anything that we can do?
No
Not
action
this-
to be taken at this
Not
point.
just
Pardon?
yet.
This is all being handled by town administrator and legal.
yeah.
On that second page. You know, the tough thing is you're gonna be going by the plan to find out what the existing conditions were prior to the development. And so they've gotta restore it to the existing conditions, I would assume. And, which are, yeah, it's hard to see, but
Try again.
where our pointer is, but I can see the wetlands.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
You can see up in here. This is probably your wetlands and your wetland buffer right here, right, Joan?
Yeah,
All that.
And so that's where those silt fences were.
yeah.
And they
And
cut in-
that's all
they-
been-
And they cut in the middle of
Clear
it,
cut.
right?
If you go to the two trailers that are there, you have two on pads, and you look due east.
So they wouldn't be on the
northeast.
silk fences?
And cut down everything, yeah.
Like to get a drone up in the air and overlay it on what was existing prior,
So,
to see what
all
the
right.
extent is.
Y- Yes, so this area here in the middle here, so I don't know if you can see where my cursor is, right underneath that 132, that's the area that was clear cut, okay?
So these
And
two,
that's their wetlands area.
right,
Looks
these
like they were,
two trailers are sitting on pads, and I guess the third one came in. These two
Pointers.
are not hooked up, but they're there. And then you just look, stand in front of those and look that way, and it's nothing there.
And I'm sorry, what is the acreage that was cleared? Was that in the notice?
it
The
didn't
letter?
say, it just said that they, I don't think it said, how much.
George, where did
Looks like
they,
about
can you
The
go back to that map?
So, I'm sorry, hold on.
The intent to cut was for 8 acres, and the site is 40 acres. So they did have an intent to cut.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, just how much of the
I
wetlands?
know, just wait, where did I go?
This is what happens to me too.
Okay,
Where did they clear cut?
everything between, that's got the curly Q lines there,
This,
that
There
whole
was a
thing.
tree line.
So
Yeah,
from
everything.
like, 132 down.
this is cleared?
So, yeah, yes.
Exactly.
It wasn't just a little bit?
No.
It was-
No, it's the whole thing, the whole thing is cut down.
And,
How did that happen? Seriously?
I'd hate to be that
well,
company.
if they
That
clear
stuff is
cut
wide,
that
this is
whole
fenced.
area,
Yeah.
were they, was that part of the,
No, they're in a wetland, you can't clear cut. You can do forestry in a wetland, but you can't clear cut like that for development without Conservation Commission saying yes, and we never say yes. So, I mean, Luke Harron went out there and was shocked when he saw it, and came and told me about it.
yeah, but if we, back in 23, said that we didn't have a particular,
Because they weren't working in the wetland in 23. We didn't have a problem, because they weren't applying for a dredge and fill from the state, they weren't.
We
Supposed to be
approved
touching
the plan, which was not to impact the wetlands.
We didn't
so
approve
what they
anything.
did is they violated their own plan.
Right,
Yes.
Okay, so let's call them in and have them justify it.
We don't know, we
No,
don't have
no.
anything to do with it.
no. New Hampshire DES will be coming down.
Pardon?
New Hampshire DES will be coming down, and they have a cease and desist that's been issued by the town.
There's no action to be taken by the Conservation
Right.
Commission,
Oh.
it was just informational.
Informative,
Right.
yeah.
So, yeah, so, and we can write letters of recommendation or letters against certain projects to the planning board, right? It's not that we have a ton of power, we can make recommendations.
But
and
when they come back with a plan, we could review the plan with,
Review it, exactly, and make recommendations
Of
on
what you
the,
wanna
on the
see.
plan.
Yep.
So just wanted to make sure I got this on the agenda. At first, I didn't know exactly what was required of us, and I wanted to make sure it was on the agenda so that it was covered in case we needed to act quickly. It turns out that we don't have to be acting quickly because it's gonna take a little while, but I wanted to make
Take a
sure,
long while.
I wanted to make sure that we were ahead of it
Yep.
and that we weren't holding up anything.
well, DES will be notified today, and hopefully they will be down soon.
Okay, so,
So would you say, Joan, the DES
Yes,
is
yeah.
coming down
I'm sure they will come down.
and they're
After they
gonna
get the
give them
complaint.
a stop order or
No,
what?
no, they have a cease and
They already
desist
have
from
a
the
cease and desist.
town.
Pardon?
They have a cease and desist from the town.
Oh,
There's not
okay.
much going on right there now. Lou was out there today and wondered why there was nothing happening.
all right, so that's the mobile home park, which is
Interesting.
kind of a big deal, but, we now know about it, and we'll be probably kept in the loop as things are.
Yeah, I'd like to, it would be interesting for us to be in the loop on the restoration plan, because it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just about the wetlands.
Yeah.
If they took out trees, old trees and things like that, that's gotta be restored as well, I would assume.
I don't know the extent, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on now to old business. So we got through new business. So hopefully I'll try to get this going here.
I want to just make, for the record, it's 7:45, George, and we haven't gotten through new business yet.
Poor George.
You know, last meeting you weren't here and we got through it pretty quickly.
Okay.
But I was not the chair.
Is there a common denominator?
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the spring fishing derby, old business. Thank you, guys. So
Good night.
it's moving along. I made some steps today. Let's see, go back to, where was it?
Is that paperwork like public or is that just,
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
So is it just on like the website or where can you find that?
What, the fishing derby?
No, for the,
Cease and
The
desist.
yeah, the cease and
Is it on-
desist.
is it on, did you put it on the,
I didn't put it on the portal.
Okay.
I don't know where it is on
Yeah,
the town website.
it's not confidential, or we wouldn't be discussing it.
there is one slight error on the cease and desist. It says $65,000 bond, it's really a $75,000 bond. That we still don't have.
Okay, so, moving on to the fishing derby. I updated the town signs today, so changed the wording out there, so we have it on, the sign on Albuquerque and the sign on Hillcrest, so we get some advertising. Put up 2 of the smaller signs along the roads so that, get word out. I did call the fish guy yesterday and got no answer. And I tried calling him today and got no answer. I've sent him an email. It is his busy time. So, hopefully he'll get back to me. I need to know when he's, going to be delivering the fish so that we can have the parking lot ready to be blocked off by the highway department. And we need our, fish containment fences in before he does the delivery.
Yep.
Typically, it's Wednesday or Thursday. I try to get him to come in for Friday. I'm waiting to hear back from him. I
Yeah,
think-
the state is not stocking Nessun outside of the fishing derby as well, so
Do you
Well,
know
the
if
fish we get are the
state
fish
has
we
already
have.
stocked it?
They're not. he
they're
just said
not stocking this
stocking.
year.
They're not stocking it this year?
No, they're very limited due to the issues with the fisheries.
Yeah, so they're building a new fish hatchery, and they closed one down, so they're down 2 hatcheries. So it's from 8 to 12 on May 16th. Harry, are you going to be, who's going to be around to
Oh,
help with the
I'll
derby?
be there.
You'll be there?
I can help by have like a tour or like at school I have to do, but I can be like going back and forth in between.
It's 8 to 12.
Okay, I can do early in the morning and
Okay,
then,
that's
yeah.
great.
You can guard the fish at 6:30.
So, we'll have the registration table again, we'll use the text string to do the,
You're gonna do the same thing with the cell phones,
with the
right?
cell phones, right. So I think we've got that down. Rex, Judy said she'll bring some juice boxes or waters. I have Jeff Town's canopy already. Maybe could you bring or we can send it.
Yeah, I've got another one I can bring.
Or a table, did you bring a table last year?
I think so. I got a couple tables. I
I'll
can
bring a trash can. I'll get the bait and the cups all set up for the kids. So I have prizes purchased already. The veterans said they would help with the prizes. So I have that purchased. Just make sure I remember this right now.
Am I blocking your view?
Oh, no, you're good.
Here are my 2 receipts. I
Oh,
sent a
okay.
picture of that to the veterans already, but in case they want hard copy,
Yep.
you could give that to them. So I spent like $121 or something like that on 3 fishing rods for the winners. We also have a whole bunch of plastic baits that one of the guys who came to the ice fishing derby gave us. So we'll be able to hand out a ton of baits to kids.
Now, you're gonna have bait there, are we gonna, split the bait up like we did before?
Yes, I'll have the bait in little cups.
Okay.
I think that works pretty well.
Yeah,
So they each, when they come in, they get a cup and I have to go through the fishing rods too. I think the Boy Scouts use them at some point in the middle of between last year's spring derby and now. They're in the shed at Talon Hall, but I'll get those and have them ready. So that's not this Saturday, but next Saturday, 8 to
There's no
12.
shed at Town Hall anymore.
There's no shed at Town Hall, no.
Any notification to the school?
I sent the flyer to them last week. They were on vacation, but I did send it to the superintendent, and he's been good before, so I'm assuming it went out. For the ice fishing derby, I checked, and he said yes, 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 so I didn't check this time.
I have a class, Let's Go Fishing with St. Francis on Saturday. So I will invite them again
Sure,
to our fishing derby.
yep, that's,
How's the water level look?
it's a little low, so they'll be kind of concentrated. And so when we do drop the fish, I'm gonna bring extra 5-gallon buckets and make sure last year we took 2 or 3 and we brought them to the second bridge and we dumped them down there. I think we're gonna have to do something like that again, just to get a good distribution. There's enough holes that they'll find them, and it'll work out.
You
Easier
said you
for
wanted
putting the
to-
fencing up this year.
Yeah, the fencing, do we need 2 fencing past the second? 2 sets of fences past the
I
second
think we're
bridge?
just gonna do one fence past the second bridge. I think I showed it to you. It's down over the hill and around a corner. There's a natural riffle there. I think it's a log or something, and so we can set it right there, and it's pretty shallow, so that should stop them. And that'll give them that little bend area to fish and allow them to explore a little bit more of the brook.
Cool.
Okay, so I think that's really ready to go.
Rain or shine, right?
Rain or shine, there's no rain date. Okay, Jarrah Pond Restoration, old business. I presented to the selectmen a plan or some information about Jarrah Pond and how the water clarity has gone down over time and the phosphorus levels are up. So I needed to present to them so that we could apply for 604B grants. And I think we talked about this at our last meeting. So they gave me approval to, or they gave the Conservation Commission approval to start that process. So we need to create a RFP or RFQ and send it out to various environmental people in the state.
We have a list.
I have a list, so I'd like to go through that list with you, and
Yep.
maybe you can help me write the RFP.
Yeah, there's a good one that Hudson did on Robinson Pond that we passed around a few weeks ago. And I think we could use that as the baseline for
Okay.
it.
All right, so I'll take a look at that.
Yep, and I can help you with that. And do we need to do we need to do the RFP before the grant?
Yes.
Is that a requirement of the grant, so you get pricing up front? Because a lot of times it's you get the grant and then go out to RFP, so,
I'll double check.
all right.
I will double check. I thought I needed to do the RFP first, but I will check.
So then in the RFP, we're just gonna have to state that the project is contingent on grant funding, and the grant funding will be decided on for X amount of time.
Okay, yeah, I will touch base with my contact at DES on that. Okay, so that is moving along. 250th celebration. So I did walk and figure out where the path is supposed to be
Oh, nice.
for the Boy Scouts. Let's see, I think this is the next one. So what I did was, I marked it,
See,
I put, oops,
look,
whoa. I took 2 orange gloves, and the path is going to go through here. Now, I don't think I have an image of where this actually is, but you can see the yellow fence is the outfield. at GMS.
Yeah, the little apartment
You're only cutting a
building.
pilot hole through there, right? It
Yeah.
can't be much
It's
more
really-
than 100 feet or something?
If we were to take the DR, we could do it in like 15 or 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour.
And
But the Boy Scouts need a project and they're
Which
gonna,
side of 3A are you on? Is that the
GMS
apartment?
side.
You can see the apartment building.
Yeah, the apartment building across the street.
You're on the GMS side, okay.
And also the celebration committee wants us to like clear the paths, but also create the bridges near the wetlands and the muddy areas supposedly. I can like clarify with
Oh,
them.
I bet they mean from
From,
LMS to
The
GMS.
elements
Yes,
of
yeah.
GMS.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I looked at that and then that's kind of like,
Are they providing the supplies for it? Because we don't have the funds to purchase it.
There's- That's gonna be quite a
so,
stretch.
so I just said, who asked? for
on the committee, this 250th celebration committee.
So what was going to happen was the fireworks were going to be at GMS at one point in time, and they thought there was gonna be parking at LMS.
Yeah.
And that they'd have to walk the path to get to GMS. The fireworks are now at the high school,
I believe so, yeah.
so they don't need to be walking down that path, and there's no way they were gonna be walking down that path at night
At
after
night,
the
no,
fireworks
no.
anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really
I know it
necessary
well.
for us to do that.
Okay.
But now that you mentioned the LMS path, this is one of these sections that, they have logs over this wetlands area. And the softball team and the baseball team walk from from LMS down to GMS for practice every day. Here's another area that, is a little wet. This is another angle
Yeah,
from that
that's
one picture
usually
that I took
a lot
the other
wetter.
way. So there's like 3 sections that could use footbridges. And I got a little distracted and a little busy. I was going to write up a quote and send it to the LMS principal and say, for $500 worth of lumber, I could build you some footbridges. But I've been a little distracted.
Could you go to the next picture?
The next one.
Is there like any type of like machines that go on that trail?
ATVs.
ATV.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that tire tracks through it.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of dry too.
Yeah, that is kind of dry.
That's it when it's dry. I've been down there when it's like really.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in the middle of a drought now.
That's when it's dry.
Yeah.
It's
I
dry.
thought you were saying it.
Now,
And you can't really see, hold on, let me see if I can. There is a steep section here.
Yeah, when you come right off of
Okay, so
LMS.
they're
Yeah.
coming down LMS. These trees over to the right, I did take some other pictures, I don't have them in this album. There was a gully in here and it washed out and the trees in there, so they walk around these trees and down through here. This is a path here. Could lash some poles to the trees to make a handrail, perhaps on, there's another
But if
tree
we
up
get some
north.
rain, like he said, it gets a lot wetter down there,
Yeah.
a lot wetter.
Right, so,
We're in a drought.
so I looked at it,
Yeah.
there's not really too much for the Boy Scouts to do there. The Boy Scouts are going to let me know when they're gonna cut through, behind the baseball field. So.
To go to Old Town Hall? That one?
Yes, to go to Old Town Hall. They'll walk along the field. I had a picture with a little path, but I lost it. So the Boy Scouts are on board. I'm in touch with them, so we're all good there. I think that meets our requirements for the 250th. All right.
So George, who's gonna make the cut through the area behind the fire station? Is that us with the DRs or the Boy Scouts?
Boy Scouts.
Okay.
I'm going to be there maybe to clean it up with the DR.
that's what I was gonna say, after they're done, because they're gonna probably leave stubs. The deal, probably.
They're gonna be using hand
Yeah.
shears and stuff like that, and, they'll get their community service and they'll work in.
Right.
You have to walk behind the church, and then there's a small cut through to get around. It's gonna be a little bit of a walk, and you're walking along the field, but it is
Safe.
what it is.
Safer.
Actually, pretty nice.
Okay, moving on, damage to Morris Falls fence. Excuse me, have we done anything else with that?
No, we haven't done anything. Now that it's warmed up a bit, we can get out there before the next meeting. I do have, I think, enough rails to cover it, but we definitely need the post. I think I have 4 rails. I think we need 6 rails. I think I have 4 of them, and I think I've got 2 posts. And we need, what I don't have is I don't have a corner post.
All right, so we need to maybe work with Finnegan,
Yep.
to order the posts, but
So how are they secured? Are they cemented into the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta dig
Oh,
those
yeah.
up.
We spent
50
those?
pounds of cement. So we gotta get the tractor over there most likely, dig it out, lift it up.
Yeah.
okay.
We stopped cementing posts after a while.
Yeah.
I think after 150.
101 posts.
Now, the bees at the community garden. I've spoken with the bee guy, and he's put hives in. I cleared out a little area for his hives. Let's see here. So here's the bat house, and the hive is just to the right of the bat house. Initially, it was gonna be to the left, and I cleared that area, then he decided to move it a little bit away from the walkway, so I told him I'd clear out a little bit more.
So,
Oh, so he's already got them, set up?
Right, but there are no bees in there yet.
okay, we decided to have him put the bees in there, right?
Yes.
And let me ask the same question that I asked last time. He's gonna end up making money off of us.
So he is a,
And, let me finish.
okay,
And you just showed us how expensive the community garden was. Why can't we charge him something to help with the expenses?
so we asked him about his honey. He has not sold any honey yet. He's a fledgling, bee grower, and he lost some hives last year. He had some issues, and he's trying to get these going, so he has yet to sell any honey, so he's not making money.
Yeah, when you're in that small of a scale,
Yeah.
it costs you like $100 a pint for the honey.
But what it's going to do is help the garden with
Yeah,
cross
it's gonna help the
pollination.
garden, yeah.
Right, so he's not making money. We checked it out.
Look at the 2 hives he's got, that's all he's got left.
2 shoe boxes.
2 shoe boxes.
5 bees.
Moving on.
Your comments are heard. Okay, so that's the bees.
But then he said the bees need the honey over the winter or something like that, so
Yeah,
it's
then
like.
you need to feed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Any update on the Morris Falls sidewalk?
I talked to Reggie today, he said, he sent you the,
I got a plan like last week or something like that from the surveyor.
and I asked him if he got a letter from Jason, and he said, no, did you forget about, you said you were gonna write the letter to Reggie about his 2 options. Oh, he doesn't.
Oh. I think we had our wires crossed regarding that at the last meeting.
Probably, you probably thought I was gonna do.
Because I thought you were gonna do that. Remember when I asked you, like, who's gonna send the,
No, I asked
the
you.
email to-
Who's gonna send?
and I was talking to George afterwards, or Matt afterwards.
Might have been Matt.
Okay. He was the chair at the time. All right.
Wasn't in the
We'll do that.
minutes, I don't
So we're
remember.
gonna lay out 2 options
Right,
to consider. And I was just unclear who was gonna send the 2 options, and it sounds like it's gonna be me.
thank you.
So the options are
Outside
the
the fence
road?
or inside the fence?
outside or inside the fence, or in lieu of a walkway?
We haven't talked about that
Middle
one.
of what walkway?
In lieu of the walkway, getting the easement in the back.
Oh, I asked him about that today, and his lawsuit's not complete yet, so it's not going nowhere yet.
I honestly think a walkway is gonna be more of a hassle than a value. Because the other issue is who's gonna maintain it in the winter.
Yep.
And plus, they're gonna cross at the gas station, so that would kind of dead end them at the gas station, at Dunkin' Donuts and I think Pizza.
Yeah, the only people that are gonna profit from it
His, up,
are his
Yeah,
his
so-
tenants.
Right. There was an argument made that if the walkway was on the roadside of the fence, that people in the neighborhood across the street could then, walk along that walkway and use it. If
The
it
whole
was,
Corning neighborhood could connect.
right, according, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
the Corning Farm.
No, the whole Corning,
They would have to.
Corning Road?
Yeah.
Yeah,
about
they would have to cross 3A without a crosswalk, but they could still walk along, you know, the
Once
sidewalk.
they did it, they'd be safe.
Once they did it, yes.
Well, plus,
Is the
but then you're
sidewalk-
talking about drainage
Oh,
and
sorry.
curbing and all that, if you're outside the fence.
Is the sidewalk gonna go past the, garage? Well,
On
the only
on the east
question that I
side.
have is that on Continental Paving side, there's a sidewalk.
They're building it, yeah.
So this sidewalk's gonna stop and you have to cross over?
There's gonna be a crosswalk
There's gonna be a crosswalk at the
Gas station.
gas station.
Yeah, there'll be-
Okay,
there'll
with,
be a sidewalk.
with lights and,
Yeah.
red lights?
Well,
With
not a,
lights,
not a
press
red
the
light,
button
the
lights.
pedestrian
Flashing
crossing
lights.
lights.
Flashing pedestrian
No,
lights.
we don't want any
And then we'll go to
traffic
the,
lights in
to the
Litchfield.
gas
Not traffic
station.
lights, they're pedestrian lights.
Yeah,
Moving on.
It'll cross over to the gas station, but then this walkway will go from the gas station up to Corning Farms, or whatever it's called, Horse Farms.
So do we, so that's the question, do we wanna continue this? Well, send Reggie the two options, and outside the fence is gonna be expensive, because drainage, curbing, DOT.
I mean,
Based upon our last meeting, though, wasn't it something that was already agreed upon, though?
Yeah,
Yes.
said he would agree, sidewalk, but he,
So if we just let it go versus just,
and
ask him.
he was supposed to, the original plan, and actually I think the zoning states that if you build up in that section, he was supposed to put a sidewalk
Yes.
along the front of the entire condo complex. And in lieu of putting it on the front of the entire condo complex, we ended up putting it in front of Moore's Falls,
Yep.
which actually shrunk it down significantly. So per the original plan, I think it was build an entire sidewalk along the front, along 3A, in front of their property. And what was decided is we'll just do it in front of Moore's Falls. But then it leaked behind the fence where you don't have to do any road improvements, so
So,
whole thing.
but then Fish and Game got involved, and
right, so we are involved because it was going to go across our property in Morse Falls and we needed to deal with Fish and Game to get the, if that's not an option, then we aren't involved anymore.
Nope.
Right? If the only option is to put it in front of the fence, we aren't involved. We are only involved because it's crossing,
Behind the
on,
fence.
behind
Yeah.
the fence.
Yeah,
so
in front of the fence would be
if-
DOT.
right,
So if it's not, so we shouldn't be involved anymore if that's not an option. It's not between us and Reggie, it's between the town and Reggie, the planning board and Reggie.
well, the town does it, the town, you know, they can't maintain it, and you can't maintain it in the winter, it's gonna be a problem,
Right.
liability-wise.
so can we just say that it won't go, it should go behind the fence and then we just kind of bow out and let him handle with everything, everybody else?
Well, we can't get approval from,
Well, we,
Fish and
they
Game to
said
go
those
behind the
two,
fence.
those two different, options they gave us, and I think we sent that to him, and he wasn't familiar with it, but he was gonna check into it, for behind the fence, the two,
Two options of material to put down.
material, yeah.
But putting behind the fence involves us, in front of the fence doesn't.
Right, but then behind the fence, we can't maintain it because we don't have the equipment to maintain it.
And in front of the fence, the town doesn't wanna maintain it.
And I don't think you're gonna get approval from DOT. I know it won't be easy getting approval from DOT.
Yeah, because if it's in front, then it's, also the Fish and Game because it's impervious, right?
No, not, if it's in front, then
'Cause
I think it's off
in the
the
DOT
Because it's
right away.
DOT right away. But that could take years.
Then that would require going back to the planning board and amending the plan.
Yes.
So that, and that's out of our,
Okay, yeah.
I'm beginning to like your idea of, okay, you don't have to do this, let's talk about the lease land, of the other land in the back.
put it on the agenda for next month, and
Should we have them in?
I think we should.
We need to get
Yeah,
this
I mean, part of
resolved.
the
Yes.
purpose is that sidewalk was gonna serve Moore's Falls.
But really, the only people that would benefit is Corning Farm and maybe the people on Corning roadside, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, any further discussion on this? We've talked about it forever. Okay, the next thing,
So
is,
are we gonna have him in for June?
yes,
Good.
What are we talking?
we're gonna have
Oh,
Reggie
yes.
come in
Yeah.
in June.
All right.
Good.
Okay. Last old business, so we might have gotten through old business in under half an hour. All right, so
Okay, what do we have to?
supplies.
Yep.
I need a,
I,
you ready?
yes. I want to make a motion for supplies, and bear with me. I make a motion that the Conservation Commission allows the purchase of up to $1,000 in equipment and supplies related to property maintenance, equipment maintenance, and other related supplies needed to maintain our properties at the discretion of the chair and to come from our maintenance line item budget.
Do we have that much in the budget?
We have $1,000 in that line
Yeah.
item
Oh.
under maintenance. So my motion is to just allow us to use that $1,000 at the discretion of the chair.
And that could include the fence repair?
Could include,
Yes.
could include anything,
Fence,
fence repair, the signposts, all that
Okay.
type of stuff.
Why don't you amend that to not to exceed 1,000?
I think I said up to $1,000 was my,
I second it.
okay.
Any discussion?
They give him a shirt.
So right now, there's no purpose for it. It's just really using it for what's needed.
Well, it's so we don't have to, every time we need to spend a little bit of money, we don't have to go for a vote. So,
Okay. Learning the ropes still, so.
Right, so everything needs to be voted on.
Yep.
And if a receipt comes in, like if you were to buy something, say you bought some fence posts, we don't have to then have a meeting
Gotcha.
to vote before you can get your money.
And then when it goes to the finance director, Karen, she needs a vote to support it, and she ties the two of them together.
So this vote would be allowing us to spend our budget on the maintenance items that
Yeah.
I deem correct. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of Jason's motion to spend up to $1,000?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. 6-0-1, it passes. Okay. Then that's the end of old business. Moving on to property checks and property maintenance. Let's see. Did, everybody go look at a property this
No,
month?
I'm a failure. I need to go with someone to show me where the boundary lines are, cause it was DeRoche property.
Oh,
And it's big, and I was out there for about 5 minutes, and I had 3 ticks on me, so I turned around and get the hell out of there, yes. It was kinda windy, so I'm thinking they fell from the tree, I don't know, but I
Come from the grass?
didn't go much farther,
Where did you go?
the farm field.
All right.
yeah, it goes way back.
Yeah, I figured it did.
I'll
They were
go
also
down with
down
you.
there with, yeah.
I'll take my
okay.
truck down and,
You go down. They were also starting to farm, there was some farm equipment, so I didn't wanna go walking around too much. But I know it does go far back, but I don't know exactly where. Mr. Brunel?
uh-oh.
uh-oh.
Technical difficulties?
Okay, so, Jason, so you failed.
I gotta
Jason,
fail.
I have passed.
Jason, you went to the muster field.
I went to the muster field, I submitted a property report for it, everything looks good up there. We do need to get the chainsaws out, and now that I'm not flying around, hopefully for the next couple of weeks, we need to get the chainsaws out, cut up a couple limbs that are up there,
Okay,
and we should be good. Everything else looks pretty good.
okay. Give you a red mark.
You get a star.
Put me down for that one next month,
no,
and I'll
we're
go out
fine.
with Jason.
Okay, so, next, Joe, did you?
You can put a red mark for me.
We're not gonna, no
Joe
red
was with
marks.
me, he got a
Forest
couple
walls.
No
ticks.
red marks. This is, week 1, or meeting 1.
I do want to keep that though, if I could. For
That's fine.
Well,
All right, we'll try
watch the ticks at Morris Falls, very
the
bad.
next
There
one.
are? Oh, my God.
Matt,
Ticks-
I get them on me
Ticks
almost
have
every
always been bad at Morris
Yeah, I had
Falls.
Parker Park in the community garden, and it looks good. You had a tree we had to take care of at Parker Park. We took care of that. The community garden's looking good. It does need a mowing, so hopefully this weekend we can get out and do that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'll get out there this weekend, and then we'll do it probably like next Thursday or Friday, because for the fishing derby.
Yeah, should be cut.
Yeah.
Aiden?
Green. So
Wait, where's our
gardens-
marks?
What?
I don't wanna be, too harsh, We'll get
Give
stricter
Steve
as
a
we go
yellow.
along.
I mean, he at least said he drove by it.
So, now where did you go to?
Yes, Garden Street.
Oh, good, did you
wetlands.
find
You
it?
did?
Yeah, both sides, like on Garden Street and then Mike or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now,
Did you see much tires in there or anything?
I didn't see any from like with my binoculars, but I could. Was there?
no, right at the edge of the road?
Did you get out of your car?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
You didn't drive
Got
down
some
wet
ticks.
area.
Got some ticks.
Did you leave your house? No.
Yes.
So you
Windshield
did check
survey.
it out?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I went in a little bit, then I got 6 ticks, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. So yeah, don't go there.
It's tick season, yeah.
Yeah, it's bad ticks.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. 6 ticks.
Immediately.
Bottle of alcohol and just drop them in the
Yep.
alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there was no trash?
Yeah, no trash. No trash.
Yeah, that's good.
And you did that goofy area?
Yes,
Yeah.
Garden Street Fen.
Right.
Harry?
Well, I went down to the river access and, first thing I found is 2 bird houses.
Yeah, lay down, yeah,
And one of the houses were completely gone.
yeah.
And then I tried to, there was a post with a sign on it that was part of the gate, and it looked like,
It fell down. Mrs. Berg put it back for you.
well, there was a rod that apparently was in the ground,
Yeah.
and somehow it came
No
out
motor
of the
vehicle
ground.
sign.
And then on the left-hand side of the property, there was a huge tree. And I made the comment that a single person wouldn't be able to handle it.
Down towards the
Pardon?
river. Down towards the river.
It's not on the
Well,
trail though, right?
It's not quite down toward the river, but it's on the left-hand side.
Did you see those 6 water bottles?
No,
I'm backing up for you.
yeah,
Lori.
and then when I went down to the river, there was a lot of debris
Yeah.
that I'm gonna have to assume, came up with when the river came up.
Yeah.
But, I guess Joan went down and picked it all up,
The wood, no, I didn't pick up the wood. It's
just the bottles.
just the bottles and some other trash. I had my
So-
picker work good.
It was just water bottles?
And the gate was
6
still
water bottles in
locked.
one spot. In the woods.
It's
Yeah,
better than
I'll
what
have
we
to
usually
check.
find, so.
Pardon?
I'll have to check, well, actually, rec manages that, right? So I think it's between rec and the fire department to decide when that gate gets
It
open.
got
Oh,
open.
well,
That's
well,
fine.
Well,
I mean-
here's what happened.
Today.
I think the highway department mowed, Mrs. Berg came along and when I went yesterday, the gate was unlocked. It looked like it was shut, but it was unlocked. So I think they didn't relock it. Was it open today or maybe somebody just pushed it open?
It's open today?
It was open today, so I'm
And then-
assuming it's officially open, but maybe it's
I don't know.
unofficially
Yeah,
open.
I saw the fire, a piece of fire equipment was parked in
Oh,
Yeah,
the driveway, so,
So it's probably open.
but that tree,
It's low.
like I said, it's gonna take, you're definitely gonna need a trailer, and you're gonna definitely need
but
a
it's not
couple.
really in the way though.
Pardon?
It's not really in the way.
No, but it's down,
Yeah.
and,
around it.
it's not blocking anything.
The grasses under the granite bench need to be weed whacked somehow because that's where the ticks love the long grass.
And then part of the trail is looks like starting to disappear. That moss is starting to
yeah.
Pretty
grow.
good.
I scraped it last year with the bucket, and it was worse. I'll check it out this year, but it was pretty bad last year. It was the
Yeah.
grass was kind of taking over the
Oh,
sidewalk.
did
We
I
scraped it.
mention broken branches? I'm sorry. Did I mention that in the thing?
No, you might have in the report, I can't remember.
No. When you start around the corner, there are some pretty good branches that are hung up in the tree that are definitely broken, that need to come down. Those need some sort of attention.
Right the corner where you take to go down to the water.
Yes.
Okay.
You can't miss it when you go down there, so.
Okay, I'll have to go down there and
I
take a
was
look.
almost tempted to bring my fishing rod down with me, but,
It's allowed.
and I didn't. I should have worn my conservation hat, so, in case anybody asks any questions.
You should wear your conservation hat when
And
you
your,
do it.
and your green shirt,
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
six off.
that's good. Okay, Joe?
Okay, I went to Lonely Fort Trail, and it's looking good. It needs probably some have-orange spray paint, maybe a couple, because it's so wooded and leafy that if you didn't know where you're going, you might, I mean, you're not gonna get lost. There's houses there, there's houses there. But it might need a little marking. There was quite a bit of duck activity out there, and the geese were, I think the geese were probably nesting out there because they were making a lot of racket. I didn't look for the duck box that fell down. Then Michael and I went to, the Birch Street property,
Okay.
and we thought we walked for 5 miles. And we came back and it was .63.
Oh,
A little wet?
We thought we were out there for a few hours, and we only went .63 miles.
Walking in a circle?
I guess so. Well, we went out, and you can't really go off to the right, it gets really wet. And then I need the tax maps on my phone, somebody has to show me how to do that. And, because you have to cross we got up to the Wilson property, and you could see the big Wilson balloon thing that's up on 3A, and they pushed a lot of dirt up towards the trail, but I don't know what that's all about. But it's a nice trail out there, but like I said, most of our property goes to the right, and you just can't go that way because it's wet. Like standing water wet. But the entrance was pretty good, and, you can park right at the end of Birch Street and go in that way.
Yeah, I have a question for Lonely Fort. Where is is there the parking lot that's off to,
Cranberry and Albuquerque.
that little parking
That
area?
little parking lot, yeah, where
Okay.
the park's there, and then to walk down the path. Across the brook.
Okay, I was just trying to see if I could. Yeah, okay, here it is. So I did go and do stage crossing.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Which way, you went in from Albuquerque?
I went in from both sides.
You still
So
alive?
this map here, so I used Map My Run, no, not Map My Run, All Trails. So All Trails is free, you can, it will show you where you are on the map, so that works pretty good, and you can start recording, and it'll figure out, I didn't start recording until I got way out into the woods, so this is actually the recording of me going back. I could not figure out, once I got out to the power lines, how to go across it. There isn't a trail, is there, from the power lines going across?
Not really, you have to hop on that next
Yeah.
property.
Right, which is, I think that's Dalton's property over
Yeah.
there, right, yeah, so, and then I found my way back. I knew I was not on our property, so I came back over to here, and then we went in, and started from the Albuquerque side and walked down. I think a hunter's out there has a stand, and had marked from the Albuquerque side. There was some markings down, I think, for him to help him find his way in and out,
What were they?
like little blue things, I think, or are they pink? They might have been blue ribbons or something like that.
Because we did try to cut a trail there a couple of years ago and put some ribbons just like on the trees, so maybe
Okay,
it was that.
okay, so that was you then,
Yeah.
okay. So,
Trying to see if we could find a way across that big gap right there,
right,
which
cause
is
it's
pretty
all
wet.
wetlands, right, yeah, it's dry now, but it was still pretty wet, so we did not bridge that gap. I will say that, in order to get to the trail, you have to go between two buildings at Stage Crossing, and then you go to the tree line, and they have it all, bark mulched, and they're.
Now, when you went to the tree line, did you go straight to the tree line? Because I always thought it went to the tree line and then went left to pick
Yeah.
up the trail.
Right, that's what I did, I went to the left
Yeah.
to find the trail.
Because one lady told me, no, you have to go straight. Well, then you end up in the water if you go straight.
So we had to go to the left to find
Yeah.
it. So we had to walk along sort of, the gardenish area there. And there was some branches, like brush at the beginning of the trailhead to make you think that, is this the trailhead? But it's pretty nice back there. A lot of land. That wetlands area though out here is kind of mucky, and
Yeah.
so it's hard to get to, really kind of nice back there. The trail was in
We
decent
had,
shape.
Matt Tar, UNH professor, come out a few years back and said, this is a classic forested wetland. That's when we offered Ms. Jacobson less money and she said she was insulted, so that's where we ended.
So that was the property, that I did.
It's really nice on the lower half of that, on the other side of the property lines, on the library side of the property line,
Yeah,
it's really nice.
How long is
There's a
that,
couple of old roads back there.
how long is that, gap?
It
This
is.
gap here?
Yeah,
substantial.
It's pretty big.
It's not like 100 feet, it's like a football field or something like that.
Yeah,
we make a bog walk or something through there?
You would have to,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd have to bait like a causeway, almost, something like that.
I don't know which map I could go to show you better.
In the summer, it's pretty rough, I mean, like, it's overgrown in there, there's a lot of, it would take some work, there's a lot of stuff hitting you in the face.
So, would you like to see it?
Yeah, I haven't walked out there. I gotta
Okay,
do
so
that.
should you do a property check on it for next month?
Sure.
How, is that a good lead-in?
Could I come with you?
Sure.
Because I want to check that out.
Really cool, yeah,
Yeah,
Is that the one, is that off of like LMS? Or is that?
it's behind the
No.
library,
No.
basically.
it's behind the library. You have to go into State Crossing to get out there.
Oh.
You can go with them too.
You can supervise.
And does anybody else have a property that they'd like to take a look at? I signed you back up for Mines Falls.
Morris Falls.
Oh, sorry, Morris Falls,
You
boy,
can go to Mines Falls, that's the nice one.
right, yeah.
I could go to the DeRocha farm too. I haven't checked that out. I can go with someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come with us. Jay,
Yeah.
Jay's gonna take me down there as
Okay.
well, so we can find the, markers.
Yeah, I'll join. I'll join that.
You don't have to hit every single one, so I can put you guys, all three of you on,
Yeah, that's
DeRosa
good.
Farms, do you know what I mean?
We gotta do some work, there anyway. I did go to DeRocher, and I think I submitted a report. I went this past weekend, and I did some GPS data collection of the markers.
Oh, that's right, because they thought this one was wrong.
I thought you did that from aerial. From
I
Google.
went out there, yeah.
Is Ray still questioning the,
Yep, and they're right in line.
well, we showed him.
Is Lonely Fort marked with orange already?
No,
Okay,
it was a
So-
long time ago, but it wore off. It's just, I would think I would go by and there's some stumps that grab your feet, mark
Yeah.
those, and then, otherwise it's pretty clear.
all right. Harry, do you have any interest in any other properties?
Look for that duck box too.
Harry, I'm proud of you for submitting a ticket.
There you go.
You get the tickets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joan, do you have anything you
I'll
wanna do?
do Lonely Fort again and
Okay.
try and find that duck box.
And I think we might have another one in the shed,
Yeah, I
perhaps.
think we do.
Yeah,
So-
we
We
do.
have two.
Yeah, and a bat house that we need to get taken care of. All right, so, What will I do? Maybe I'll do the muster field. Maybe I'll take a look at the Fen. Okay. So, let's see, I think that might bring us to the, do we have any member input? Why don't we start with you, Joe?
Yes, we were cleaning, a few of us were cleaning the back room today. We got half the room looking halfway decent, amazingly enough. And, these surfaced from Moore's Falls. What do we wanna do with trying to get some of these fixed or not fixed, or, I mean, the Boy Scout, Eagle Scout did a lot of work on them. I still have the text, I believe. And, I don't know how we,
Yeah, you gave us some laminated signs of those last year, maybe the
I
year
forget who
before.
ended up with
They're,
them.
they're in the old fire station on
Okay.
a shelf there.
Maybe we could at least maybe get a QR code on the Moore's
I would
Falls
say,
sign.
Joan, after we cross the bridge with the ones at the muster field, I think the plan is to like duplicate that effort. at
Yeah,
Moore's
we
Falls.
don't wanna do that kind of signage again. I mean, we can take everything that William Parker did and, make up signs with it, or
All right.
link up a website and stuff.
Do you wanna put this in the fire station with
Yeah,
the
I
other
can put it
ones?
back there.
Okay. And, I had one thing on turtles. We got mail from the turtle rescue people, and if you encounter a turtle crossing a road, simply help it in the direction it's heading. Snapping turtles can be safely lifted using the back of their shells. Grab them from the back of the shells, not their tail, like one person wanted to do the other day, but, and he successfully moved our big one across Pinecrest. She was headed for the water. And,
What type of turtle is that?
that's a painted,
Oh, okay.
no, that's how to pick up a
Yeah.
snapper.
I'm not picking up a big snapping turtle. I
This
don't
guy did, he lived on Gibson Drive, and my daughter slammed on the brakes when she saw it. and Luckily, this guy stopped when he saw us, and he helped her across. Usually I carry my
He
net
only
this
lost
time
two
of year.
fingers.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna lose fingers. Snow shovel says snow shovel can be a good tool to have available to help move them. I'll have to put my snow shovel in the car.
Hockey stick,
No,
slap shot that thing across.
you guys are bad. That's all I have.
Okay. Harry, any member input?
Nope.
I have none.
Nope.
Okay, I've already given all mine.
Only thing I got is ticks. Just, I got one embedded in me from, it was probably from the, picking up stuff on 3A, and we were basically not even really in the woods.
No, you got one embedded in you?
Yeah, I had to go take the pill.
I heard somebody say that because there was a big, I think it was acorn crop, that this year and next year are gonna be really bad because of more mice. They're a vector.
Yeah, the ones I had weren't little. They're
Yeah.
good size.
Oh, yeah.
Enough where you could feel them crawling around. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I thought it was an ant, and then you're like, no, it's not an ant.
I had one after we did the community garden work, but I think I felt it like at 3:30 in the morning, like, what's this? Okay.
And I showered, I mean, I got home and I stripped down and I looked and I got in the shower and that thing was embedded at me.
Was it a real teeny one?
Yeah, yeah, deer tick. Have you gotten, do you get them every day?
I get them all the time. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you use?
I always so I have called tick guards on my.
I've seen those
I
online.
strap around the bottom of my pant legs. It's like a waffle weave, so they can't crawl up. They get confused and they just stay right on the guard. And I just douse the bottom of my legs with
Permethrin or?
no, just with DEET, 100% DEET, and just I get them a lot. Yeah, I've never, knock on wood, I've never had any issue with them as long as I wear my guards and check myself. But it's all the time. It's been bad the past 2 years.
Okay, so I think that concludes member input. Approval of meeting minutes.
So we have two, we have April 9th and April 2nd.
I reviewed them both, I didn't have any problems. So, let's see, we should probably do April second first.
April 2nd was the real meeting?
Yes. You came in, just slightly late. No, I mean,
Yeah.
because
No, I
you,
did.
you started out as a voting member and then we
Pass
relegated
the
you
reins
back, yes.
back, yeah.
I was at 900 degrees eating pizza.
So did you see anything?
Nope.
Okay, so,
Make a motion that we accept April
Second.
2nd minutes of the meeting as they are.
I second that.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that was 7-0-0. And then April 9th, there was less of us here. I, again, had no issues with that. None for you? Okay,
I don't think that's when I was at, right?
I was not at that one. That was the
Emergency one?
emergency meeting.
yes, it was the emergency meeting. Can somebody make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
To accept the meeting?
Yes, yeah.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 in favor, 2 abstain. So it passes 5-0-2. Okay. Next meeting will be June 4th. And so just want to remind everybody, we have the fishing derby on next Saturday.
The media blitz will go out this week.
Okay, yeah, like we have the signs out. Okay, the media department will be all over it. And there's no more public input and we're pretty late. So I do have something I might want to talk about in non-public, but I think we're gonna hold it for another time because we've reached our limit here. All right, so, does somebody want to
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
all in favor? Okay, passes 7-0-0.
8:38.
The meeting is over at 8:38. Sorry for the long meeting, Litchfield.